Good morning, brother. So today's gospel, I'll read it. Reading from the book of John, chapter 15, verse 1 to 8. This looks like Sunday's gospel, a shorter version of it. Jesus said to his disciples, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit, and everyone that does, he prunes so that it bears more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word that I spoke to you. Remain in me as I remain in you. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit, because without me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and a wither. People will gather them and throw them into a fire, and they will be burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want, and it will be done for you. By this is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples. The gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Lord Jesus Christ.
Commentary from Bishop Barron. Friends, in our gospel passage today, Jesus declares that he is the vine and we are the branches, adding that anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and wither. It's odd that we accept this sort of language very easily when it comes to our bodily health, while we balk at it when it comes to spiritual or supernatural health. Doctors and health specialists can say with a clarity and matter of factness that certain practices and behaviors are absolutely essential if one wants to remain physical well-being. Unless you eat a balanced, nutritious diet, you will get sick and unfit. If you smoke, drink to excess, and never exercise, your body will become unhealthy. And if these practices or negligences become exaggerated, you will die. It just isn't that complicated. Jesus is not engaging in charming poetic imagery. He is laying out the spiritual facts. The spirit is a living thing, and it derives its life from the vine. If therefore you are separated from the vine, you will die spiritually. You will stop living a supernatural life. And it's just not that complicated. I remember Sunday's gospel was very powerful for me. So we represent the branch. Jesus represents the vine. Our Father represents the vine grower. And then there's these fruits that we ought to bear if we stay or remain connected to the vine, because the branch gets its nutrients from the vine, from Jesus. But this analogy is really cool because the branch, when it doesn't get the nutrients from the vine, because it takes a little bit longer, and it sees the ground, it really stretches for the ground, and it kind of leans down the branches. So what the vine grower will do is typically, if the branch goes after the soil and it goes after the nutrients in the soil on its own, then it won't really bear fruit. So then, so the vine grower will kind of tie it away from reaching the ground and keep it just waiting to get its nutrients from the vine instead of the soil in the ground. But then the fruits that we bear, the branch bears fruit. There's good fruit, and then there's, I'll say, rotten fruit. This is what the homily was about. The rotten fruit is like the outside of the fruit can be very fresh looking and colorful, but what's important about a fruit is what's on the inside, how it tastes, how sweet it is, how ripe it is. And one of the ways that we can look at fruit is our words. Do our words contain true love and truth inside those words? Does it have power to, when it gets delivered, when someone consumes it or hears it or receives it, do our words, which represent the fruit, does it bring sweetness and joy and love to their lives, or is it rotten inside? That was the reflection I remember from Sunday. Good morning, brother Fred.
Amen, brother.
Good morning, my brothers.
Any reflections this morning, brother Fred?
Yeah, just reflecting on the gospel this morning. Jesus is is our gardener. If who will continue to nourish our spirit, fill our cup. If we remain faithful in Him, He will fill our cup. When it's running empty, He will give us a meaning and purpose, and He will prosper us. That's what I received from the gospel. Also, He will cleanse us, like He's the gardener. He will prune, meaning cleanse us from anything. That's what I received.
Amen.
Let's keep our brother Steve in our prayers this morning. He's going into surgery to get rid of his was it gallstone? I forget what it was. Kidney stone. That's right.
We'll do, my brother.
All right. Good morning, American Dream Team. Happy Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get started with roll call. Brother Fred.
Good morning, my brother. Present and accounted for.
Brother Fred, you're on mute, but I know you're there. So, Brother Julius.
Good morning, Brother Alex. President accounted for. Happy Wednesday to you, sir.
All right. Happy Wednesday. Brother Ross. Completely overlooked Ross.
Good morning, my brother. Happy Wednesday, present and accounted for.
All right. Happy Wednesday. And then over to Brother Martin.
Good morning, Brother Alex. Good morning, everybody. Present and accounted for.
All right. Good morning. Brother Jesse.
Good morning, Brother Alex. Good morning, ADT. Let's go.
All right. Let's go. Good morning, Brother Danny.
Good morning, Brother Alex. Good morning, ADT family. Day 1 of 75, present and accounted for.
All right. Good morning. And Sister Liz.
Good morning, everyone. Present and accounted for.
All right. Good morning. I myself am present and accounted for. Day 1 of many. Siempre adelante. All right. Thank you all for your presence this morning on this Wednesday. Let's go ahead and get started with our gratitude exercise. We'll stay in the same order as roll call. I'll start with thanking each and every one of you for showing up on this call on time. Thankful for my life that God has gifted me with. Thankful to be aware of my surroundings and my presence this morning and my thoughts and my fears. Thankful for those awarenesses this morning. Very thankful to be able to move outside. My legs can still move. My feet. Just remembered I haven't been stretching this week. And I remember I wasn't staying committed to my diet the last couple days. So I'm already drifting off my commitments. So thankful that I realized I need to get back on track today. Otherwise, consequences will come to my feet and inflammation to and indigestion to my body. So thankful to remember that this morning. Thankful for all the water I'm going to drink today. Thankful for a second workout that I'll be doing today. And thankful for my day-to-day routine and everything that I get to do with the American Dream Team as we serve this mission. Thankful for the start of a new month, the month of May. I made a dedication to have a closer relationship with Mother Mary this month. The month of May is typically the month of Mary. And I want to learn more about Jesus through her. I realize she could definitely teach me a few things about her son Jesus who I want to be like. And Jesus is like, well, he is my big brother who wants to lead me and show me the way, but a lot of the times he shows me by action what I need to do. And man, I think that I can't do what he does. It's just scary. But that's my goal this month, to dedicate more time with my guardian angel, Mother Mary, St. Joseph, the Holy Family. I have a lot to learn from Joseph, especially. And through that, I anticipate I will get a little bit more comfortable following Jesus and feeling more confident in my relationship with Jesus this month. So, very thankful for that very important goal for me this month. And I'll be dedicating some extra action items for that. Very thankful for some reconnections I had yesterday with Brother Ross. Very thankful for our conversation and you being here this morning. And thankful for our American Dream Team leaders on the 75 Hard Challenge. At least from what I'm aware of, we have Brother Danny, Sister Liz, Brother Martin. It's quite the commitment. So I'll be rooting for you, and I'm going to try my best to keep up with some of those action items with you all. So, and then also thankful for God's grace and mercy, especially His mercy. I've been repenting quite a bit and mourning the past several weeks since Easter. Supposed to do it before Easter, to be on Kairos, but nevertheless, I'm always behind catching up. So I really wanted to catch up this year and not just be a spectator, but participate. And it's just a time for mourning and fasting for me these days. And very thankful for God handling everything around me while I stay committed to this season. It's just been on my heart to stay committed to this season for myself. So very thankful for the changes I'm starting to see around me and the reflection I have of myself before I repented for certain sins in the past. I was just so blind to it. And I let the consequences of my sins just hold me back for so long. So I'm very thankful that I find myself, those sins no longer holding me back, but I'm definitely weakened by it. So I ask for strength from the Lord. I ask for the power of the Holy Spirit. I seek wisdom and truth. And I give whatever I have left, which is definitely not much. But to my Lord, as long as it's everything I have, He accepts it with a smile. So that brings me joy and a smile to my face and to my heart. Because although it's not much, I really want to give everything I have and keep it that way. Remain in Him. It's today's gospel, the same as Sundays, which is pretty cool. But remain in Him as a branch and stay connected with the vine, Jesus Christ. With that, I'm going to pass to you, Brother Ross.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Such a powerful share, my brother. Thank you. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Happy Wednesday. I'm grateful to God to be awake bright and early. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be outside, moving my body, doing my little walk, keeping my legs nimble, and just having my blood flow bright and early in the morning. I'm just grateful to be up. I'm grateful to be here on the call with all of you. I'm grateful for liquid Tylenol. Been under the weather for the last several days, but liquid Tylenol never fails to help me out and keep me up, be able to sit up straight and work in front of my computer. I'm grateful for medical advances and the opportunity to mask how we feel sometimes when our body's not properly functioning at 100%. I'm just grateful to be alive today. Grateful for the clouds up in the sky. When they're up bright and early in the morning, all of these lights down here will reflect on there, and it's a lot brighter here. It's bright this morning. I'm grateful for the quiet and the peace. I'm grateful I know there's several people out here. I'm grateful for this feeling that I'm just grateful to feel at peace this morning on the call. But I know that I'm up bright and early this morning. I have some time to reflect and reorganize before the workday begins. Grateful for a lot of things, especially that happened in the last several days and in the last week. Had the opportunity to work out with my brother. It's usually both of my brothers. We meet on Tuesday. I just met with my older brother because my younger brother is celebrating his first year wedding anniversary with his wife. But these last couple of weeks, my dad's been able to join us as well because him and my mom just came from Mexico. And they were doing a lot of walking, and my dad came back home and saying, "Wow, I think I need to join you guys on these Tuesday nights that you have and at least do a little bit of cardio or keep myself accountable in some sort of ways." So I'm just grateful that my dad's able to join us, and we have a good meal after the workout and have good conversation. And my dad and we live in the Temecula area, and we drive to Escondido. It's only about 30 minutes, but we are able to catch up and have good conversation to and from. So I'm just very grateful for that opportunity. I'm just grateful for all of you. I'm just grateful for this new day. Grateful. Good morning. I'm just always grateful to God for His grace and the opportunity to reflect on the gospel. Thank you, Brother Alex, for your reflection on, and on Saint Joseph, Saint Mary, and in Jesus. I feel that I can learn a lot. I reflect on the teachings and the inspiration of the Holy Family. Just grateful for a passage or a line in the gospel reading this morning that without me, you can do nothing. And I wholeheartedly believe that. Grateful for that. And with that, I'll pass to my wonderful brother Fred.
Thank you, my wonderful Ross. Glad you're here today, my brother. To hear your voice. Good morning, team. I am very grateful for getting up this morning. Thank God for giving me one more day. Thank God for this new month. Thank God for all the blessings of protection and provision that He blessed me to this day. Thank God for the gift of my health. Thank God for the gift of my family. Thank God for awareness and opportunity and all the new doors, all the new blessings that God will provide this new month. Thank God. Thank God for that. Thank God for renewing my strength, renewing my tired bones. Thank God that today is going to be a good day. Something good is going to happen to us. And with that, I pass it to my wonderful brother, Julie.
I don't think Brother Julius is on.
All right, well, I'll go. This is okay. So, good morning, everybody. Just grateful for being able to wake up today. Just felt like I've been on the run for the last few weeks or so. Just every single day something's coming up. I'm glad that God gives me the energy um to get out there and continue and to keep my eye on the prize, and just grateful for the team around me. Yeah, so that's what I'm grateful for, just the energy. Because as you know, this mental exhaustion can cause physical exhaustion. So glad that I'm able to overcome it, just with the little fight, and I'm back in action again. So grateful for that. Grateful for God giving me the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and of course the mouth to speak. So, and again, like I said, grateful for the team around me. You're only as good as the team around you. So, with that said, I'll keep it short. I'll pass it to Brother Danny.
All right. Thank you, Brother Jesse. Thank you, everyone, for showing up on the call this morning. Very thankful to be up, to be outside right now, in motion, but slow motion, like Brother Oliver would say. Very thankful for day 1 of 75. Excited for the challenge, and also little bit mixed feelings, just because my body's not in the right shape right now. So just I don't know, I guess a little bit, what's the right word? Can't think of the right word right now, but I think you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. My shoulder is just really messed up. I don't know how the shoulder's going to get better, but they said it's called a frozen shoulder, according to the doctor. And it's going to take a lot of months just for rehab. So going to go see a orthopedic doctor and get their opinion on it. So that's the only thing. I wish my body was in much better shape so I can do the second workout with a lot more. I don't know the word. I'm running out of words this morning, but just to try to do a harder second workout and really get into a good rhythm of doing the weight training. So a little bit concerned about how I'm going to do that, but either way, going to figure it out and work on other parts of the body, or do exercises that are not going to injure my body any more than it already is. So very thankful for that. I am a little worried about my brother Jason. We had a long conversation last night, and we were both really excited to do this together, and he's not on the call this morning, and it's really not like him to not show up. So I hope everything's okay with him. Also praying for Brother Steve. I'm happy that he's finally gonna get some resolution, or finally get that thing out of his body. So very glad that's gonna happen, and at the same time, praying for a very successful surgery. So my prayers are with him. Just thankful for all you guys showing up on the call. Thankful for Brother Martin and Sister Liz for all of us doing this challenge together. And this time around, I want to do this challenge with a lot more giving it to God, and for every single action item, really giving it up to God. So I, like what Brother Alex said, I also have a lot of things to repent for, and I have repented for. And through this challenge, I really want to get closer to God and to sin less so that I can love God more. And whenever I feel tired or don't feel like doing, a second workout, that's what I want to think about every single time. And still praying for our brother Raphael, and this challenge always helps me think about him even more. So thankful for that, and also thankful for how things are going at work, and the things that we're all working on, the goal and the mission. I had a chance to meet up with a old, it's kind of like a younger brother. And just having he wanted to buy me dinner last night after our meeting at the office, and just kind of explaining to him, what we do, and kind of my story as, how I started. And his reaction to everything was just like, wow, that's what you guys are doing is pretty amazing. And it's just his reaction kind of made me feel good. It made me feel like, yeah, we're different. We're doing things to really add value. Not just about, what can you do for me kind of attitude. If we add value, then we'll if we give, then we'll receive. So just thankful for our mission, our American Dream Team. Thankful for our leadership. Thankful that we have someone has a leader, in Alexander Kim, who has these great strategies and ideas, and how everything is just well thought out. And very thankful for that, for Brother Alex. So thank you guys. Thank you to all of you guys, because you guys are always, here, and always supportive. That's a big word for me, is that, even just throughout all the time that I've been on this call or been on the 75-day hard, I mean, just the support, and how everyone's just so, wanting everyone to do well, wishing each other to do well. I really like that about our team. There's no, like how there is in the real world. It's on our team, I really feel the love and the support, and how we always want each other to do well. I really love that about this team. So very thankful for that this morning, and thankful that Jesus is giving me another opportunity to do the 75-day hard better. And just thankful to be on the call with you guys. And with that, I'll definitely try to be here tomorrow morning, and I will pass it on to, I believe it's Brother Martin. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for your shares. Thank you, Brother Danny, for your share. This morning, I am grateful to God for another day, another opportunity. Grateful to God for the abundance of health and wealth that He blessed me and my family and my brothers and sisters on this call. Grateful to God for the unity that this 75 hard challenge is bringing. Grateful to God for all that I have and all that I've been through, including all the bad experiences in my life. Grateful to God for humbling me each and every way that He's done so, and reminding me that we're here on this earth for a fraction of the existence of the universe. And in that fraction, we get to choose, the impact we leave for our communities and for others. And very grateful to God for our mission, bringing health, wealth, and unity to our communities. That's a beautiful thing. Very grateful to God because without that unity and the communities, not only would I be alone, but there would probably be more loneliness rather than just myself. And I forgot who I was talking to yesterday. I think it was Sal. But I'm reading this book, and it talks about how people are willing to pay for encouragement. So grateful to God for that awareness. Kind of hit me when I read that. It's one of those things where I'm like, hey, that's me, But we're all different and similar in some areas. Recognition and encouragement, two different things, but together, they play a huge role in my life. I've discovered from myself the power behind support, like Brother Danny was saying, wanting good for others and wanting good for yourself. Very grateful that I'm on this call with like-minded individuals and want to see others win, which is a reflection of I want to see myself win. Carries on to our actions, our body language, our words, our support, and our encouragement. And with that awareness, I'm able to notice why it is that encouraging myself and believing in myself has always carried on and resulted in me believing in others and encouraging others whether it's through praise, motivation, accountability, respect. It's more than a million ways, I bet. But the thought is what counts. So this morning, I'm very grateful to be hard on myself, be holding myself accountable, and being grateful for what I have, but also being grateful for what I don't have. Grateful for things that I used to have and are no longer with me. Grateful for what I want to have and God hasn't given me. Grateful what I didn't want, God gave me. So yesterday, I completed day one, 75 hard. Today, I'm grateful to start and complete day two. And I'm grateful to have people around me that are on the same page. For example, yesterday, I was kind of testing Esmeralda. She has some leftover cookies and some leftover ice cream from this past weekend. And well, so much for testing. Deep down inside, I pretended like I was joking that I wanted some, but no, it's not a joke. I really do want some. And after a full day of being extremely strict with my carbs, it was that easy to just give it all up. But reminds me of my addictions that I've had, where it's like I want to do that, but I have to. And I don't even think it's willpower. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like just a decision where I just simply stall or procrastinate or take action away from doing that action. So to this day, I've noticed some of my previous addictions, they're still there. They're still, still possible to do them. It's so easy, it's so accessible. I can't really answer why I don't do it. I just think it's a choice that I'm making. Like, I'm not gonna eat that cookie because I'm doing the 75 hard. It's like I'm not gonna go to the gym because it's cold outside. It's like an excuse. I'm not gonna smoke weed because I don't have my ID on. They won't let me walk in and buy it. Things like that. So grateful to God for that awareness. I do believe that he, without him, wouldn't be where I'm at. So grateful to God for his strength, his encouragement, and his accountability. That being said, grateful for my health, for everybody on this call. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on the call. Pass it on to the next.
Good morning, everyone. I am grateful to be able to be moving. I'm grateful for all of you, for your strength, for your guidance, for your words, for your encouragement. I'm always very, very grateful to live in a gated community where I can actually come out and walk around and ground myself and connect myself and be able to be safe all at the same time. So I am, I've been struggling mentally, emotionally, physically for the last 30 days since the marathon, really. And I'm grateful to have been able to say that I am feeling more myself. I am feeling 100% physically. The mental and the emotional, the spiritual is is always an everyday challenge, to remind myself that as long as I'm connected to God and I'm grounded the way that I'm meant to be, things are only as difficult as I allow them and as I make them. So I am grateful to start this 75 hard journey, and I'm grateful to be comfortable enough in my own skin to be on this camera with no makeup, messed up hair, and my big glasses. So thank you all for your love. Thank you all for your support, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
All right. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence, your shares. Thank you, Holy Spirit, for the same. Yesterday, if you were on the call, you heard my offer for Brother Martin. Extreme accountability. So he accepted last night. We'll start that today for him. And this doesn't mean these are the rules or anything, but this is what's recommended for Martin, because I know what Martin can handle. So each day, for the next 30 days. Oh, by the way, it's for 30 days, 30 days of extreme accountability. And then the idea is to let him finish the last 45 days on his own, which it's two different experiences. Someone kind of like a boot camp, grilling you for every little detail to the point where it's annoying. And my job is to make you break. Right? That's how I look at my job for Martin for the next 30 days on this call. It won't carry over outside of this call. So you won't see this version at the office. So you don't have to worry about that. But on this call, we'll be in a separate room. And anyone that wants to join, especially if you're on the challenge, you're more than welcome. Probably start breaking up into the breakout rooms tomorrow. But for 30 days or 31 days, What's important to me is, what am I going to get out of it? Right? Of course, there's all these worldly benefits: better body, more energy, stronger mindset. But all those are temporary. I was talking about this with Ross yesterday. If you do a good 1 year run on this, it'll probably last you from what I've seen so far and experienced, it'll probably last, my guess is, a good 3-4 years. Okay, so if you're on this call and you're kind of keeping up with everything, consuming all the lessons and principles from a worldly level, and then once you break from here, you're going to be enjoying life, especially in this world, with all that extra confidence, all that extra ego awareness, okay? All that positivity. You're going to be able to operate at a higher level. I mean, that's what military officers are trained for, right? They operate at a higher level naturally. It's a natural level. So it'll last you a good 3 years. But then what I notice is it wears off, but it doesn't wear off little by little. It barely wears off for about 3 years. And then you just fall off a cliff. That's normally how it works, from what I've seen. So my goal is if I'm making a sacrifice, if I'm letting go of something temporarily, I have to, in a way, manipulate and trick myself, because my heart doesn't want to let it go forever. It's too scary. But I can let it go for 30, 40, 75 days. Right? But during that 75 days or 30, 40 days, whatever it is, if what I'm trying to achieve isn't a spiritual level up or a spiritual, I'm going to call it virtue, then at the end of 75 days or 45 or 30, whatever it is, at the end of it, at the end of the marathon, at the end of your project or mission, whatever it is, at the end of it, what you won't do is continue on with something harder and more, because you still don't tie harder and more challenge to good. You still don't tie the cross to something that's good. A bigger cross is good. And that's what happens, right? So in a way, yeah, there's a lot of benefits, but man, I don't want to do this just for a little bit of extra benefits. It's not going to really do much for me. It's going to make my crash feel even worse. So the idea is to replace my sacrifices, and I'll use with a virtue. So I'll start with the virtue of courage today. What is a virtue, by the way? Virtue. The opposite, you would probably know, the vice. Right? A vice and a virtue are the opposites. So a virtue, like a vice, it's a choice, and it's something that you do over and over again, so that those habits, it's a habit, can lead to a certain result. A vice will lead to sin and death. And the idea is for virtue to lead to love for life and love. Right? Virtues teach us all the different ways to love and to receive love. Right? If I get really good at receiving love from God, then I can get really good at receiving love from my friends and family members who probably have less love to give than me. So how do I receive love from someone that has very little of it? Can I still receive it, or is it not good enough? Because I lack in love. But when I'm filled with love, I can receive, right, and be aware of the love that I'm receiving. It may not come out from a worldly way. It may not be given by the counterpart. If you look at it from a worldly way, as that's love, right? That's trust. Like they're lashing out on you because she trusts you. She's crying for help. Okay? So vice or virtue. Virtue is a set of habits that lead to good character. And the key word is good character. And it is a choice. And it's supernatural because it's not natural. Vices are natural. Virtues are supernatural. So when we choose supernatural habits, we're going to receive supernatural gifts. Okay? And we're going to be able to receive a higher level of love, God's love. If we can experience that, we won't trade it for anything else. The reason why we can easily trade what we perceive as God's love for something else, someone else's love, a love that feels like love, a worldly love, really embedded and disguised in sin, or it's sin disguised in love, I should say. We're willing to trade it so easily because we haven't experienced God's supernatural love. If we have, we wouldn't trade it for anything. Right? Logically, that makes sense to me. So do I want to receive God's supernatural love? Then I have to make supernatural choices. Can't just make natural choices and expect supernatural results. So that's how I look at virtue. So the first virtue, I'll use the word courage, since Martin shared the word encourage. Encourage is to give courage to someone, give them the support and the confidence. Encourage is also a virtue. The virtue is more fortitude and courage. And there's different ways to think about courage, but I'll tie it to, how do we have courage to keep our faith, right, with the invisible, the things that we can't see? I'll reflect on that for this morning's virtue of courage. That's where the courage comes into play, right? The lower level of courage is like, oh, that guy wants to scare me. I'm going to stand up to him. Yeah, that's a consequence of the supernatural virtue of courage and fortitude, which is doing the right thing, right? Having the courage to do the right thing, what Jesus teaches us. Having the courage to do the right thing when it's hard to do it. Okay? Anyone can do the right thing when it's easy. Anyone can. Anyone can love when you're in an environment where loving is like, there ain't nothing not to love. You got all your family members there. It's Thanksgiving. You got all this food and gravy and turkey. What's there not to love? That don't take no virtue or courage. That's natural, right? Your pet dogs can do it in that environment. And thank goodness we do have those environments, because it's a taste. It's a taste of what we can have in heaven eternally, infinitely. But if we mistake that for heaven itself here on earth, if we mistake it for that, then how do we set ourselves up? Right? It's like the cliff. When we're not in that environment, then what? We can't love? Okay. It's no longer easy to love, so I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. So courage, doing the right thing, doing what is good, which is love, loving others, forgiving others. We love through forgiveness. Having the courage to forgive and love when it's hard to do it. Okay. So when do we get those virtues? When do we grow in that virtue? You know, whether it's a 30-day, 45-day, 75-day challenge, you know, if I were to share any wisdom, there's about 2 or 3 days probably where you just can't go any further. Or especially some unexpected, right? Some unexpected event happens. Like this one, man, there ain't no way, right? I would have expected this to happen. And believe me, it's going to happen during this 75 days. It probably wouldn't have happened if you're not on the challenge. But because you're on the challenge, something's going to happen that never happened before. Will we be ready for that? For that moment, if we practice and prepare with the virtue of courage to still do what is good and what is right, to still stay committed. If I truly put God first and I'm expressing me prioritizing God, if I'm expressing that through this challenge, then I still stay committed. What a test. What a test. Okay. There for courage. And then end. So practical examples of courage again. I do the right thing even when it's hard or unpopular. I stand up for the things worth fighting for, like my faith, my family, my friends. I pray and ask God to give me his strength. Lord God, please teach me to be courageous. If anything today seems difficult, embarrassing, or unpopular, and yet I know that it is the right thing to do, give me the grace to do it, no matter the cost. Amen. No matter the cost. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up there. I'll leave you with that. Any final shares or thoughts? Oh, one last thing. For Martin. One of the things that one skill set or awareness that I would try to focus on early on, like today, day 1 or day 2 for you, is can I predict, can I forecast or plan out when I'm going to drink my final sip of that gallon? When am I going to do my second workout? We already did the first one together. When am I going to do the Facebook Live? When am I going to finish my reading? What am I going to eat before you get to that point? Right? So the biggest advantage of doing that is I can gain about, the goal at the end of 75 days is to gain about 3 seconds advantage, where you could literally just imagine like those movies or TV shows where people have like the power to freeze time and then you can kind of move around, right? If you want to have a 3-second advantage in your life while you engage with other people, right? 3-second advantage to think about what to say, what not to say. A 3-second advantage. You can gain that if you can really nail down and be aware of, I'm going to do this at this time. I'm going to do this action item at this time and stick to it. And be aware each day, you're going to need to have some meditation time either in the evening or the morning. If you're just waking up and going, right, there's nothing for you to gain. Before you go, you need to know where you're going. And then, just like Mary, when she received during the Annunciation, when she received the message from Angel Gabriel, right, and she received her mission, then she moved with haste. So once you know exactly what you're going to do, then you don't think about it, right? You don't get stuck in your thoughts and, oh my gosh, do I do this or do I? You just go. But you can't go unless you have that already lined up. Right? That's what I would try to focus on today. And then tomorrow, it's probably not going to happen for the first couple weeks, but you're not passing phase 1 of that. That's phase 1. You're not passing phase 1 until you get that down. Then you can move on to intensity and we'll go on to phase 2. But that's phase 1. If you could tell yourself the next day, I met all of my action items, I was on time, I was prepared. On time is 5 minutes beforehand. It ain't on the minute, right? You can't save lives being late. You got to always be ready. 5 minutes beforehand is on time to me. Showing up at 5:05, right? Since it's day 1, it's okay, but it's late. 5 o'clock, right? You could do a lot in 5 minutes. So if one of these days you have a casualty, then you need those 5 minutes. But on a normal day when you're ready, 5 a.m., right? You should be logging in 5 a.m., camera on, and show everyone you're already outside. Otherwise, if the camera's off 5:05, right, what will people think? Perception is reality. Even if it's true or not, doesn't matter. People can think, oh, he ain't outside. He's barely putting his clothes on, barely putting his shoes on. He ain't outside. That's what they can think. So remove all possibility of the person's perception, others' perception or imagination. Right? That's how you operate. All right. Hope that makes sense. And I hope you have the courage to operate and run this challenge at the highest level possible. I know you can do it. All right. Let's go ahead and end the call with the Pledge of Allegiance. Together. With our hearts open. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
America.
To the republic. For which it stands.
And
One nation.
one nation
Under
Under
God.
God,
Indivisible.
indivisible,
With liberty.
and
Justice for all.
for
For all. All right. Peace be with you all, everyone.
So, Brother Alex, what you were saying to Martin just now about thinking ahead of time, is writing down like a schedule kind of the same thing? Or is it just something I have to think of in my head? Or is this something like if I plan out my day and set a schedule, like at this time I'm going to do this, at this time I'm going to do that. Is that kind of the same thing?
Yeah. So you know yourself, right? Sometimes people need to write down. Other people, they think they don't need to write down when they really do, and they still don't. And then some people can actually do it without writing it down. But you kind of like have to know yourself a little bit, right? But the idea is this. Here's what we're trying to achieve, right? So let's say today I'm gonna have 3 meals. It's a
Right.
decision. And then what am I gonna eat? Right? If I'm eating at the time that I'm hungry, and then I'm choosing to decide, if I'm deciding when I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry, I've already lost.
I
There's
see.
no benefit there on this on that part of the challenge, on that action item. So that's for the diet, right? And then as far as like the reading, the water and all that, here's what this is for. So if I can set up my intention, my time, right? It's all about time management,
Right.
right? Can I show up when I'm needed and prioritize my time? In the beginning, there's no way you're going to be able to do it, because in order for this to actually work, everything else in your life has to be organized. And then everyone else has to believe that you're actually going to stick to your time, and people are going to respect your time. But it takes some time to do that, right? But when you start with these action items with that intention, it's going to carry over to your life and to your business.
I
Nothing's
see.
going to be random. You're not going to just take a meeting for someone because, oh, you can make a $10 million commission, right? You lose value that way in business in the long run. But if you stick to your time, then that person will respect you because you already have something planned,
I see. I get it. Okay.
right? So those are the little things that it's hard to see, but you're already on a mission. You already have a purpose, right? And you're willing to lead others that want to follow you where you're going. But if you don't have a destination, a purpose, and a mission, you're always looking to see what other people are doing. And people notice that when other people are looking at me like, what can I get from that person? Right? People subconsciously will notice that. They can't really put it, to words or know what's going on, but subconsciously they recognize that.
I see. Okay. I understand. Okay. Yeah, that's why I see I see a lot of mistakes I made in the last 75, which has to do with what you just said right now, because I kind of fit in my action items whenever I had the time to do it without any really thought process of when I'm supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Like there was times where I had to rush doing something, right? And I didn't manage my time properly. And it was yeah, and I never really thought about what I was going to eat. I just ate when I was hungry. And I just decided right there, like, okay, what should I eat right now, Um, but yeah, this time around I wanted to be a lot more disciplined, where I'm really thinking about when I'm going to do something and what time I'm going to do it and how I'm going to do it, where I'm going to do it. So there's certain things I kind of already made up my mind. Like for instance, the book reading, I really
Uh-huh.
want to do that before I go to sleep. Like I want that to be my last thing of the day, because I want to go to sleep and with good thoughts in my head. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
I want
I like
that.
that.
Yeah, I want that message that God's trying to tell me through the book. I want that to resonate inside of me while, right before I go to sleep. So
Right.
that's one thing I made for sure, that I want to do my book reading at the end. The second workout, I really want to get that. I'm trying to figure out what's a good time for me to fit that in. And I think for me, it should be after work. Or I'm thinking doing it like literally like before I even go to work. So getting
Okay,
the
so
set,
I'm
yeah,
gonna give you some help on that one.
yeah,
This is like a level up for you, okay? So one of the rules, this isn't my rule, this is the original rule. I just, forgot to cover this on the first round, but I think it's good for you to know so you can at least be aware of it, right? So the first workout and the second workout can't be right after. It can't be an hour and a half workout and call it two workouts, number one.
I see,
The
I see.
the
Okay,
second thing is it's got to be 45 minutes straight. Like
right.
if you break up 10 minutes here, 30 minutes there, it's good. I mean, that's your integrity, right? Like you maintain that. So the integrity is always more priority than, the action item. But if you want to level up for yourself on this round, the second workout and first workout should be 45 minutes straight. That's time management. The
I
value
see.
there is to get time management.
Yeah, and I felt like when I did that the first 75, I I I didn't feel all like good about it, to be honest with you. Like I would be at the office and then I would go to the inside the gym and I would do like a good 15 minutes straight, but then I would go back to my desk and then, do a little work or whatnot. And then I would go back and do another like 15 minutes, right? So there was a lot of times I didn't do a straight 45 minutes, but I felt like, okay, well, if I do 30 minutes here today and then when I get home, I do like a 15-minute walk, that's 45 minutes, right? So I totally get what you're saying about the 45 minutes straight. So yeah, that for sure. I told myself that's what I'm gonna do this time around is do a straight 45 minute. But let me ask you this: even on the 45-minute workout, so let's say I stretch for like 10 minutes, does that count as part of the workout, or should I stretch before my 45 minutes?
For you, I think it counts because stretching is hard.
Yeah,
Like that's kind of painful for you, right? So I would
yeah,
count it.
yeah. Because
And
I need to stretch for sure, especially my shoulder, because I want to do a weight workout, but there's so many weights where it's going to involve some sort of movement in my shoulder. So I'm gonna test it out today and see what I can do and what I can't, and just try to, because I've worked out in the past. I was an athlete, so I know how to do workouts. I know how to do
right, right,
weights,
right.
and I know how to work all the machines at the gym. I know how to do all of that. So
You
I want
know,
to focus on
you
certain things.
you are older, so maybe instead of bench pressing them like big plates,
Right,
there's ways I've learned. This is like recent times, but if you take the bar and
right,
you pretend like you're stretching it outwards,
right,
and you maintain what do you call that? Like tension. If
right,
you like have real like strong tension, even lifting the bar, you can feel the burn.
right.
Maybe like 20, 30 times.
And
You
there's also
probably don't.
machines that you can use, because the bar, the reason why uh anything that you do what's called a free weight,
Yeah.
you can get injured, right? Because of
Right.
just the
Right. Right.
balancing of it. But machines are not free weights, right? So I'm gonna try to
Right.
utilize a lot of the machines this time.
Okay.
And plus it's giving me an opportunity to work on my lower body because I hardly do legs or
Right.
like that kind of exercise. So yeah, so I'm cool. I'm gonna figure that out. But
Yeah. Second workout, you got that part down, bro. That part's
yeah,
easy. For you, it's easy.
yeah. So I'm gonna
Not
figure
doing
that
it,
out.
but yeah, knowing
And
what
as
to do.
far as my meals, I want to be a lot more intentional this time around. I know Brother Jesse's been giving me a hard time. I know you're listening, Brother Jesse. But I'm gonna try to eat a lot more healthier this second 75. So no more, chili cheeseburgers or, things that are not really healthy for me. But yeah, just trying to be a little bit more intentional on what I eat. I definitely got to get back on the water because, man, the last week and a half or 2 weeks since I've been off the challenge, I might have drank a gallon total. You know what I'm saying? and dude, it's bad. So I'm definitely looking forward to the water. I think the only thing I'm not really looking forward to is the second workout. But I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the most challenging part for me is the second workout. But I'm definitely, I'm going to do it. But the reading is going to be okay. But yeah, just I mean, it's all good. I think the second 75 is going to be good. So just
Yeah,
looking
you're ready,
forward to
bro.
it.
You're
Yeah.
ready for sure. I think what you should, kind of watch out for is the second workout. I really think you're going to be fine with that.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not saying it's easy, but the diet, I think you may get surprised by how hard that's going to be,
You're right.
based on how I'm hearing you're going to do it now.
Yeah.
You're going to have some mood swings that
Yeah.
you're going to have to be careful with.
Yeah.
So give a lot of
Yeah.
warnings. Try, and that's really good practice. Like as I'm going through these like emotional mood swings,
Right.
if you can get into the practice of like when I'm feeling the rage, but then
Right.
I can still somehow signal to, my wife or my kids, like, hey, right now I am, and you got to talk like this monotone, like right now I'm feeling a lot of rage. I want to just punch that wall. That I want to break that window. I want to take this knife and stab something, but
Mm.
I just need some space right now. And you're talking like this, but internally you're preventing yourself from like, being a beast and just, destroying everything around you. Like if you're
Right.
not feeling that, you ain't doing anything.
Right. And you know what's funny is that after the first 75, I really thought I was gonna start eating I wanted to eat these dessert. I already had things in my mind, like I was gonna have a cheesecake. But honestly, I don't really have that desire like for
Isn't that
sweets
a
as
blessing
much.
though? That's a
Yeah,
blessing, bro.
it's a trip. Like I don't have like this real desire to eat all that stuff right now. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, that's
and
huge,
I did
bro.
have a soda. I had a soda like twice, and I don't know, it didn't really taste all that good as I thought it was gonna taste. So there are certain things I think my what do you call it? Not my taste buds, but my things that I desire to eat. That
Your
desire kind of
addictions. Yeah.
has
It got
gone.
weaker.
Yeah, it got a lot weaker. So
Yeah.
I think the second round of 75, that is one of my goals is to really think about what I'm going to eat, but at the same time when I'm let's say I'm at a dinner with somebody, like try to really choose something that I know is a healthier meal than I normally would eat. So things like that, little things. I know Korean food is pretty healthy all around, and I do eat a lot of Korean food, so I'm not really too worried about that. My wife makes a lot of good, healthy Korean food, and but yeah, like when I'm at the office, like what am I gonna
That's
eat?
the
Things
hardest.
like that. Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's the hardest.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
In-N-Out Burger is to me is still healthy. It's not like a Big Mac. So, but there are certain things like maybe I won't eat fries. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things I'm gonna try to, or maybe I'll eat a not a In-N-Out Burger with the bread, but I'll eat it with how they do just the lettuce wrap on it. I don't know, little things, you know
Bro,
what I mean? Yeah.
you're not no diabetic, you're not overweight, so it's not that big of a deal for you.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean,
Just being more intentional is what I'm saying.
yeah, exactly. And then you got to just be real with yourself. It's like, do I want that? If
Right.
I want that, that's probably not a strict diet.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, that's where you would probably be, your struggle would be, is that what I like? Did I choose it beforehand? Before I get hungry, do I choose it? And then am I choosing it because I want it or because it's good for me?
Right.
That's the two questions I would answer if I'm you. So.
All right, brothers. Thank you for all the advice and the support. I gotta get my son ready for football, but